Okay, here is the demo for the Bell & Howell 456A Super 8 and regular 8mm dual projector. These were known as the breadbox projectors in the mid 60s is when they became popular, right when Super 8 basically came out and Bell & Howell started making dual projectors, which means, of course, it's some of the best ones that they ever made and that were ever made. It's an all-metal construction. All this is metal. There's really no plastic. There's plastic here, hard plastic. I think the switch is plastic. Inside, of course, it's all metal, but some of the knobs plastic. This is, of course, all metal, the reels and everything else. And look at the condition of the auto-load reel here. It's basically mint. You're really not going to find one nicer than that. This unit is in good use condition. It's not in horrible shape. I will demo it for you to show that it works, and I say that slowly because it does have some issue, and I think it probably just needs a new belt. But it's running inconsistent. It will stop at times and then keep going. And I really believe it's a belt. It does that in forward and reverse every once in a while. But I wanted to show this with the problem in mind, so I'm not hiding anything. So when you get it, you're not like, oh my gosh, this thing needs all this work. It doesn't need really that much work at all. It probably just needs a new belt. It may need another adjustment here or there. But overall, it's in great shape. And finding these, and even in this condition, they're getting very hard to find. Now, I wanted to show a couple things here before I run film through it. Of course, this is a regular 8 reel. I just happened to find nothing, super fantastic. Just some family movies. A common thing with these, and it's nicely opens for any kind of. It doesn't really jam all that often. You can see the film path. It's very simple. It goes through, down, and then through. But it has access here. You can see allows for your tape. For your film path. Your film to be lifted away. So if you do have a jam or a bad splice, you can unthread it pretty easily or whatever. One of the things that happens on these older units, this piece is rubber. This is called the rubber tire, and it's the cap scan right here that spins. It's the motor. Basically, it's tied to this and everything else that moves inside the projector, the main drive. And what happens is this is strictly only really used for threading, but these tend to deteriorate and they totally go away. This is a brand new one. If you can't really tell in the video, of course, but it's just very grabby, it's not slippery at all. It's a brand new tire. So if you were to get this for no other reason, barring any of the other problems, this tire is worth the cost of admission just for this. The nice thing about this projector too is it had the older Bell & Howell lenses, and I believe these are all made by Kodak for Bell & Howell. But this is a 1.5 lens. That's an f1.5, which is very hard to find. Normally these, and then the silver with the bellow type of what do you call lens cover, and these are very hard to find. They were only made, say, in the first couple of years that they made this one. They made this projector probably for about 4, 5, 6 years, and all through the 60s into the early 70s, and then they had the Filmo sounds and things like that you've seen. But this is a silent. Also, this doesn't play sound. This is a silent projector. So it's not a Filmo sound. It's before that. And but the key is this lens. It's like I say, it's a 1-inch f1.5. They're normally not that bright. They're normally not that fast. In other words, I don't know if any of you know about photography. The lower this number, the faster the lens, meaning that there's more light, all things being equal. So this gives a brighter picture, basically, on, say, darker scenes that other lenses maybe not show up as well on your screen or whatever. Being a 1.5, you can get away with darker scenes, and you can see those a little bit easier. And the detail, of course, is fantastic. It's what I like. It's a prime lens too. It's not a zoom lens, and that actually has its merits because being a prime lens, you get the quality and the crystal clearness of the projection. Some of the zoom lenses out there are just so badly made that you can't get a decent focus no matter what you do. But as you'll see in a couple minutes, it's a very, very clear picture that it projects. So to take this out for cleaning, just pops open. This knob pulls towards you, and then this just slides right back in, and you just let it go and it clicks right in. and you know it clicks into place. This holds it. It's a spring activated, and then that just locks into place like that, so it's all nice and secure. Projector also has this down here, which is nice. This is the foot that raises and lowers, and what that does is it gives you elevation for projecting. So for storage, you just loosen up and it goes right down to flat, tighten, and now you can, with the handle, just carry and put it away. And then for projection, you loosen it, and the foot comes down, tighten it, and it stays. I also wanted to show that, of course, it does come with the lid, and for this projection, the lid's in good shape. The lid is complete, and it has a storage hub here for the take-up reel, and which fits in very nicely. And of course, you know, anything else, little things you wanted to put in here, any kind of papers or you know, anything like that for notes on what, you know, what to do and things like that. But it's very simple to thread. It's an easy projector to use. I'll show how easy in a second. And here's that side. This side, a couple of, yeah, cleaned up there. See, nice. So it's in good shape. The sticker's still on. But for right now, so there's a 3-position switch: off, motor, and lamp. These, let me pull this panel too before I do anything to show you the lamp. This is where you change the bulb. So this comes off. And this takes a mirror bulb. They are kind of pricey. They're not too bad. They're 24 to 30 bucks, something like that, for a new one. The key with these mirror bulbs is, and I'll say this on the video, anybody watching this, even if you don't buy the auction, I'll help you with some tips here. The old Bell & Howells with the mirror bulbs, these will burn out very, very quickly if you don't let them cool down. And that's why here you get a motor switch. So you got off, motor, and lamp. See, and if you see in here, you can see this fan. When I turn that on, there's a fan that's blowing air. It's blowing air on my hand, and this cowl has the air surrounding the bulb, and then it blows out top here. And that's so that you cool down your bulb. And the good rule of thumb is you should, for as long as you have the unit on for being projected, you should leave it on this mode for half the time. So in other words, if you're projecting a half an hour 7-inch reel full, it's got 8 of these little ones, it's a big reel like this, you should let it cool for 10 to 15 minutes to be safe. Anyway, I'm going to put this back on. It just goes right on like this. It clips on the side, right on like that. And switch here for Super 8, regular 8. Key here, you want the projector off when you're switching modes. This is included in the auction. This is a this guy here. It's a hub adapter. So as you know, Super 8s have a larger hub, and that goes up there. And that's the only thing you have to do for Super 8. You don't have to do anything inside with anything else. You just basically flip the switch, and now you can project Super 8 and back down for regular 8. And of course, this comes off for regular, and that's what this is. But I'll show that. So if you were to see this hub, this just goes on like so, and now you can put a Super 8 reel on there any size. But so turn the motor on, put this down like that first, and here's your lever here for forward and reverse. That's forward. You can see it working. Okay. Here's reverse. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and thread it forward. Put this down. Right in between there. Tire grabs it. I'm just going to come out the back here. Here she comes. And now you're threaded. Okay, so you're threaded now. Show it running. Okay. So that's it running and forward. I'll show reverse. See, it's stuck. Like I said, I think it's a belt. Could be an adjustment with the teeth there. This is reverse projection. Does work. As I say, it's probably a belt, or it could be some kind of a teeth. The teeth inside of the gate may need adjustment, but for the most part, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and show this. I'm gonna kill the lights in here and show it projecting an image. So it does work. A little bit slower than I would like to. Like I said, I believe it's a belt. 4 or 5 screws. Take these off. This pops off and you can get to the belt relatively easy. If you're halfway mechanical, it's pretty easy to do. I just don't have the time to do it right now, and I'd like to get this out to someone that can use it. You can leave it as is if you just needed to preview films that you don't know what's on them. It's a great unit to do that with. And even if you want to go to DVD with the clarity of the lens, you can do that too. You just speed it up in the computer. But anyways, that's that. I'm going to show some reverse projection here. It's in reverse now. Also has still projection. That's still. Yeah, you can see it's still projection. I don't like still too much because if the light stays on that part of the film too much, it starts burning a hole through it. So try not to do that as much as possible. If you want to still something, do it in the computer. But anyway, I'm going to go forward again because I want to get to the end and I'll show you how it rewinds and that works really nicely. So anyway, because of my rule before I said about not killing the bomb, it hasn't been on that long. Stuff like this. This lever up here is used for rewind, so we push that down. You don't really even have to do that, it's just a clutch thing, but it's a little bit easier on the film if you actually don't do that. It's actually better for the bigger reels. These are the small ones, just grab right away and it's not an issue, but there we go. So now it's grabbed, and that's about as gentle as you could be on the film without it breaking anything off the end of it. I don't like crimping it on the end of the reel. I think it's horrible for the film. It's not good for anything. And once that flops around like it's going to do right there, you shut it off, and you're done. Reel comes off. Store it away and play your next reel. Thanks.